Hey everyone, this is Rachel and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. If you hang out until after the video is through, there are always detailed shots of my current layout. Let's get going! Hi everyone! So welcome to another episode of Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel. Today Christy and I are working on this page map sketch. Now in the sketch there are two 3x4 photos. Instead I'm going to use one 4x6. So I am going to twist it just a little bit so I have the same orientation. Now I am going to be working with a Felicity Jane page kit that I put together back at the end of April 2019, and I just wanted to be able to have some things to play with that were already put together so I could start quickly. Before I forget, and before I put you on fast forward, I am going to drop Christy's channel link in the description box below, so please make sure you head on over to her channel and check it out. All right, folks, let's get going. Hey everyone, so full disclosure, I made this layout back in the beginning of May when I was working with these Felicity Jane kits. I have since gone through, I think I made 5 of them, but they were slightly larger than an actual page kit. They were very much, I could make 2 layouts from each one. I have moved on to a bunch of other page kits I have made, but I just wanted to mention that I did make this quite a while ago in the idea of using it for Lift and Sketch, my series with Christy Harriman, which I'm sure you've heard about if you're watching my videos, um, because I do it twice a month, so it's not an unknown element for my subscribers. So when I use a page maps sketch, I often follow it just really closely in the sense of paper placement, but then I change things up when it comes to where my title and my journaling go. So I'm going to cut all my papers in the shape that the sketch is in, and you'll see I've popped the sketch up and I've turned it to go in the same direction I'm going. Because I'm working with a 4x6 vertical, I just flip the sketch on its side, and all I'm doing, I'm not measuring, I'm just kind of, looking at the picture and then looking at my screen. And I'm like, well, it looks like there's a lighter one that's about an inch and a little bit more on either side, left to right, and more about 2 inches on from top to bottom. And then there looks to be a darker one, this tone on tone in the aqua. And that's, sort of, this looks to be that it's going to come down over that white piece. Now, obviously, I cut mine a little bit shorter. It's fine. It's not going to be perfect. I don't necessarily need it to match up completely. In fact, I'm not going to put the title up where the title is. So, not everything is going to match up. I just, this is how I like to work with it. It works really well. This was a really quick layout. Um, Sorry, my Xanthi is trying to eat my Fitbit right now. Anytime I do a voiceover, she likes to hop into my lap because I think she thinks I'm talking to her. So all I'm doing now is lining things up. Now I had pulled that thicker, it's like an epoxy type thing. Oh, speaking of Xanthi, she's making an appearance as well. I had pulled that into this page kit thinking I might use it, but it's not going to work with this. I am going to go ahead and mat my photo on this black and white heart paper, and it's just going to be a thin mat for that. So these, as I said in the beginning, are all Felicity Jane. Some of them were scraps, some of them were full-size paper. I am pretty proud of myself. I am using some of that cloud paper. I'm also going to use some cloud embellishments. I don't dislike clouds. They're just not one of my go-to shapes. For me, clouds have to be at the top of the page, so I have a hard time using them if they're not. Now, I have inked up all of my papers in Hickory Smoke Distress ink, and looking at that, I decide what I really need is a vertical piece of 12-inch tall paper. So I just trimmed off this, it's like kind of like a very micro rainbow stripe. And so I am going ahead and gluing that on the left-hand side of that paper, and I am much happy. Like, it's ridiculous because it's just this tiny little piece of paper, but for some reason it is making me much happier to have that rather than not have that in the background. So for me, for scrapbooking, I just do what makes you happy, because no matter what, you have to be happy with what you do. It doesn't matter if someone else likes it. Right now, I've got a couple of people who, like, within the first few minutes of every single video, I get 2 thumbs down. Like, I set my videos to publish at 6 a.m. and by the time I check to make sure they've published, every like in the morning, and I'm usually up before then. So by 6:15, I've got 2 thumbs down. So it doesn't matter if those people don't like my layouts. It just matters that I like my layouts and that I'm happy with them. So sorry, I just like tangent, but that just popped in my head. So I'm going ahead and gluing everything down. Now, normally, because of the way I work, I usually start with my photo and then I glue from the top layer down. But with using the page maps, I know exactly what it's going to look like, so I went from the bottom layer up. So now I'm starting to embellish. I grab this tag and I'm going to use that in place of where in the original layout the title would go, just a little bit of multicolor floral up there. And then I'm going to also use the cloud die cuts. And here's my Xanthe again. So as I said, I have a hard time using clouds. Normally, I don't have a problem just putting random stuff on my layout, but for some reason, clouds are my enigma of crazy town, because I just can't use them unless they make sense to me. What I'm doing here is I'm using them as the base layer for my embellishment clusters. So enough of them are covered that for my brain, they don't read as clouds. They just read as amoeba shapey type things. So I'm able to do it, but it's just one of those things. Anything else I don't have a problem with, but yikes, this one I do. Now, I had wanted to use those Pebbles cursive stickers, but I did not have enough letters. I really liked those particular ones, but I only ever got one set. So I'm to the point where I can't make a ton of words with them. So instead I go to that Amy Tangerine black thicker, and that is, oh, sugar, I do not remember, Afterburn, maybe something, Afterglow. I think it's called Afterglow. And then for the second part of my title, I go with these LA Studio dark teal flat stickers, and I do use the little brayer trick if you've got flat stickers. I said flat stickers. I meant flat stickers. If you have flat stickers, whether they be letters or just a flat sticker, if you run a brayer over it, it helps adhere the flat sticker. My friend Kim showed me that at a crop, and it has worked very well. So I'm just taking a bunch of the embellishments I put into this page kit and lining them up over the clouds so they do not appear to be clouds at all. I've got some hearts, I've got some wood veneers, I have some flare, and I really was just looking to make embellishment clusters. This particular time, I wanted them to be specific clusters. So that is what I did. I am adding some extra glue to all of this, a mix of my ATG for the bigger items, and then moving to my liquid glue, which is Art Glitter Clear Glue for the wood veneer, the flare. The flare is from Felicity Jane, so it is flat backed. So I just use liquid glue on it rather than a dimensional sticker. So some of these Felicity Jane things are very, very old. When she first started, she would do stickers with peel away backings that you had to fussy cut yourself. That's that blue sticker I'm putting down right now. And I actually really like those. I find fussy cutting to be relaxing. I'm horrible at it, but I do find it to be relaxing, so it's okay. All right, I am almost finished with my clusters now, just making sure they are glued down.
This label is also from Felicity Jane, and that's what I'm going to be using for my journaling. We were at Cracker Barrel, and my nephew fell in love with this little horsey on a stick, and so, of course, it ended up coming home with us, and he loved that. He would ride around being a cowboy, so that was super cute and super fun. I am almost done here. I'm going to add some enamel dots because, of course, layouts aren't complete without enamel dots. That's, just a joke. I know some people don't like enamel dots, and that's totally okay. Use what you like. But I'm using a mix of several different colors, just pulling all the colors from throughout the layout into the enamel dots. I then am going to finish off this layout with some Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine. Before I do, I would just like to say, make sure you head on over to Christy's channel to check out her take on this sketch, and we will be back next month with a new scrap lift and a new sketch. And that will be in September, because it's August already. That is crazy nuts, people. I gotta tell ya, it is almost fall here. Whew! All right, folks, thanks so much for joining me here. Flick me a thumbs up if you can. Bye!